This is a group that really is intense, focused, competitive, and hardworking. So I've got no complaints about the way that they're handling practice right now. I'm really excited. They don't back down from a challenge, and I love that.
Coach, how early do you talk about big picture goals with them?
We're actually going to do that pretty soon. Yeah, that's something that we need to get to, and in fact, we might even do it today. We always talk about statistical goals for a game, so we'll have maybe 10 things that we're trying to do every game, and then each game we'll rank ourselves on how we did doing those things. And they're the ones that set the goals. They decide how many points they're going to give up, how many, what percentage of turnovers forced, and things like that. So it's a good buy-in from them.
How much confidence do you take into the season, given what you have coming back, what you think you've brought in?
I have a lot of confidence about this group because they have a lot of confidence. Also, I think just watching them work gives me confidence. I know we have a lot of depth this year. We also have a lot of talent. I mean, there's no question. We've got the best point guard in the country. I think Brianna Turner is the best player in the country. We've got great people around her, and so we've got a lot of positives.
Is it too soon, or are they to the point where they're ready to play somebody beside themselves?
Yeah, I think we scrimmaged against our guys the other day with refs, and I think that was good. It was only 5 practices in, but I thought we were ready for it, and it's good. I think they like when the guys are here. We've been going against ourselves because of the fall break this week, and it's been very competitive, which I think is good for us too. But I think we're going to be ready to play somebody pretty soon.
You said you haven't set the big picture goals yet, but isn't the big picture goal pretty much the same every season?
Yeah, it is. I mean, every year we're trying to win a national championship. That's what we want. That's our primary goal. But there's a lot of goals that lead up to how are we going to get there? What do we have to do every day to get there? And that's really what we focus on.
Is the way the season ended last year, you think it helped get ready for this year? And that, I know you can always be psyched, but just the fact that it was so disappointing and so early that it maybe motivated them.
Yeah. I think anytime you end your season on a loss, it's motivating. I think every year we've ended our season on a loss. So we really look at what happened this year a lot earlier than we wanted. So we had a lot more motivation, a lot more time to think about it. And it's something we don't talk about it much, but it's something in the back of everybody's mind.
What does it take for 2 freshmen to assimilate into the program like that? And what does a freshman have to do to fit into your scheme offensively and defensively?
I think it's difficult for freshmen to fit in because we have such a veteran team, and our offense is, it's been the same every year. So I think there's a comfort level that everybody else on the team has. I think with the freshmen, it's a little bit of a learning curve. For sure. I think we started in the summer. We continued in the fall. So when we get to practice, they're a little more comfortable with what we're doing. But every time we put in something new, I think there's a little bit more of a learning curve because everybody else already knows it. And you feel like you're the only 2 that don't know exactly what you're doing. But the rest of the team has been so helpful. They're constantly talking to them on the sidelines. They're really helping them try to really get immersed in exactly what we're doing. I think for them to play, I think defensively is always the biggest challenge. I think high school defense is not quite like college defense and what we expect from them. So I think Jackie's made great strides. I think she's an athletic. She can really guard on the perimeter, and we really need that. So I think the defense, the rebounding, those kind of things, I think they get you on the floor a little bit quicker than offense, although both of them are so accomplished offensively. That's kind of the least of my worries. It's can you guard at the other end?
In Enrique's game, where does it have to go this year? What's the next step for her?
She made a huge jump when she came back in terms of her discipline and her sense of urgency. I think I was really impressed with how she really approached the summer. She has worked out. She's in really great shape, I think, and that's helping her. I think she's confident, which she was last year. She's fearless, which she was last year. Her 3-point shot looks a lot better. Looks like she spent a lot of time working on her shot. And we are expecting, similar to what she did last year, but this year a lot more help on the defensive side.
If you started tonight, would Enrique and Marina join your last year starters?
Yeah, we would. If we started today, we would start Coco, Kat with Enrique, Marina, and Lindsay Allen. Bree not being back 100% just yet. But Coco, probably the surprise player of the preseason right now. She's playing extremely well. Did really well in our first scrimmage against the guys. Had 23 points and 8 rebounds. She is a completely different person. She's dominating the paint, and couldn't be happier with where her game is right now.
Do you expect her to be a pretty important piece?
I do. Yeah, she will definitely be one. Those three will rotate. Kat, Bree, and Coco will rotate, and I could play all three of them together. We've tried that, and that's not a bad look either. But generally, I think probably two of them being there at a time.
How big of a step is that? Because I think many people probably thought she wouldn't get to that level.
Yeah, she's made tremendous strides with her mindset. You know, I think she's always had the ability, but not the mindset. And she's in better shape. I think she's moving well. Her feet really look just a little bit quicker. But offensively, she is killing on the block, and that is really her biggest improvement.
So you,
If Bria's not ready now, will she be opening game?
Yeah, she will be.
so you planning to go with the 3-guard rotation for most of that part?
Yeah, I think initially there'll be times when we'll play 4 guards just because with only 3 posts and foul trouble, and there'll be times when we'll only have 1 post in with the 4-guard look, and I think that's really good for Jackie and Aaron.
And is Bree still recovering from a shoulder surgery? Is that what it- or what-
She's just not 100% cleared. She's been doing. I think probably by the time she comes back Monday, she's going to be 100%.
Did she have surgery?
She did. She had surgery in April. It went really well. They are just being a little extra cautious because of the time of the year. She's been playing 3-on-3. She's been doing half court. She just hasn't gone all out in the scrimmage yet.
How much better do you think she can be? I mean, I know she's already one of the best, but what do you think her
I think
ceiling
her
is?
big improvement is going to be the free throw jumper. I think she's got to be able to face up, hit the jumper. She's actually shot some threes in the because all she can do is shoot right now when she came back. So she's really been working on her shot. It looks really good. Her free throw looks much better. So I think being comfortable taking the jumper, I think that's the biggest improvement she can make.
I think you mentioned that both Jackie and Aaron will probably be in your top 8 rotation, and you still have Michael, you have Coco, Ali Popper coming back too. Can you conceivably see a 10-person rotation?
I really can. I think with the group that we have, for sure. I think Michael's strength has always been in her ability to guard the ball in the backcourt when we want to press. She's somebody that we can put in and do that. She's also a really good three-point shooter. She's really smart. She's been just sidelined with a lot of injuries. She's not been out there the whole time. And the same with Allie. She's not cleared yet. So she's doing a little bit of 3-on-3. She hasn't played 5-on-5 yet. So she's a little slower coming along. But eventually, I could see us playing 10 people.
Is it difficult to create that kind of chemistry when you're rotating that much?
You know, it can be. I think that's been a problem because you have different people on the floor all the time. But this group is really gelling well together. I think there's some combinations that maybe will look better than others, and that's going to be my challenge. I think to figure out who plays well together.
Was that your idea of December 10th through January 22nd? You have 12 games, 10 of them are on the road. I mean, how did that, was that just the luck of the draw of the scheduling?
Well, I think between the break for exams and the break for Christmas, there's a lot of time in between. But I think it'll challenge us. I think it's a good time of the year to go on the road, hopefully to warmer places than where we are right now. But I think it's good for them. They've got to get out there. They've got to play in front of hostile crowds. It's only going to make us better.
With the contributions from Enrique and Marina last year as true freshmen, how can that help Jackie and Aaron knowing that true freshmen can be successful in your
Well, I think
system?
they're excited to know that. I think they're anxious to see how it's going to really go in a game and how much playing time they're going to get, what their contribution is going to be, what their role is going to be. It's obviously going to be a little smaller than it was in high school, but it's going to be pretty big for a freshman. I really see both of them coming in and being able to have the green light to score. That's what they do best. I want them to be comfortable doing it and try not to do anything to discourage their confidence.
And then what have you seen, I guess, from Lindsay during the offseason? Just heading into
Everything's
another
different when
year?
Lindsay's in the game. We just look so much better when Lindsay's in the game. She's in complete control of the offense. She is the leader on the floor. She knows exactly where everybody's supposed to be, when to get them the ball, where to get them the ball. Great defender. She does it all. She's a tremendous leader. I think we just, we're not going to look as good when she's not in the game.
Are you using Bully as a 3 or a 4 or more?
Erin is going to be a stretch 4. I think she'll play in the 4-guard lineup a lot, but she can also play. She can also play the 3. I mean, she's definitely somebody that's got the 3-point shot, best on the team, no question about it. We want her to be our leading 3-point shooter. So if teams would go zone, she would be on the perimeter. In the man-to-man, I want her on the perimeter as well. So I think we'll look at a 4-guard lineup with her in the game.
What does Allie bring?
Allie is, we don't have a backup point guard right now, we're desperately waiting for Allie to get healthy. I think she's somebody that has the mind of a point guard. I mean, she just has the presence of a point guard when she's on the floor. And we're just doing 5-on-0. She's directing. She's telling everybody where to go, even though she's been out for so long. She's really smart. She knows exactly what's supposed to happen. She's going to be a little rusty, I think, physically. But she's going to bring that ability to stabilize the offense when Lindsay's not in the game.
And will she ever play with Lindsay in the game?
She could. I don't know right now that I would play them together. I think we have so many scores that it would be hard to play them together.
How much would Lindsay be out of a game?
Excuse me?
How much would you take Lindsay out of a game?
I should probably play 39 minutes. I'll probably. Last year she got in a lot of foul trouble. I mean, the couple of the games that we lost, or the closer games we had, she was on the bench for stretches we did not want. So with Allie, hopefully she'll be able to keep us steady for those minutes when Lindsay does that. But if she could stay on the floor for 40 minutes, I know she would like to, and I'd feel good about it too.
If she stays on the floor that much, you've talked about this a little bit with your rotation, but you've got so many players on your team that were at one point the best player in their state growing up. I mean, All-Americans. How do you balance that, and how do you get certain players that are used to scoring 20 a night to suddenly be okay with playing 10 minutes and
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that the playing time part is the easiest of that. I think that this is a team that's incredibly unselfish. They really don't care how many points they scored. I talked to both freshmen about their goals, and scoring wasn't even mentioned. I mean, it's something they obviously want to shoot the ball and be contributing. But I think the biggest challenge for me is, who is that glue player going to be? Who's the guy that's going to be out there that doesn't need to score, that just wants to facilitate? Who's the Hannah Huffman going to be? Who's going to come into the game and say, my job's to rebound and get the ball to Bree? We lose Michaela Mabry, 100 assists last season. Who's going to do that? It's great we have all these scores, but, there's only one ball, and we really want to make sure that the right people are getting the shots. So I think that's going to be a challenge for us, to have so many weapons, and everybody knows they can score. So who's going to bring that ability to be the one that's making the pass, making the little plays? So that's something I'm actually a little worried about.
It'll take a while to mesh, but strictly based on talent entering the season, is this perhaps the best team you've had?
I think probably. I think it is. I think especially with where Coco is right now. We've got a lot of All-Americans, and we've got a lot of veteran college players. So I would say that we've got the depth at pretty much every position, and I think it's probably our best team.
Even better than the national championship team?
That team, we played 6 people, and only because we had to sub. So I think we played a different game. We sat in a 2-3 zone the entire game, and it was a little different what was going on back then. I think that team was incredibly talented, but more than that, they weren't the most talented team in the country. I mean, we had a great chemistry, and everybody knew their job. That was the biggest thing with that team. Everybody played their role exactly as it was supposed to be. Nobody did too much or too little. And so that was the strength of that team.
What do you look at the national scene? UConn isn't supposed to be as powerful as last year. When the season ended last year, a lot of people predicted that you'd be ranked number 1. What are you expecting this year?
I'm expecting that this is going to be the year where parity finally hits women's basketball. I mean, it's a long time coming. I think it's going to be great for the game. I think there's a lot of teams that can win it. You look just in the conference with Louisville is a great team with just about everybody coming back. Miami's got everybody coming back. Syracuse coming off of Final Four. I think Duke's a team that's a little under the radar right now. There's just a lot of great talent in the ACC, and then nationally, you got Tennessee has just about everybody back. Baylor, almost everybody back. I think Stanford's got a really good team coming back. Everybody, this was a year nobody lost a lot of talent except for Connecticut. And so I think that really evens things out. And I think it'll be a year where maybe we'll see a different number 1 every other week like the men had last year, which I thought was really exciting. Unless we're the ones that are not number 1, then it won't be quite as exciting.
Would you put you at number 1 to start the season?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I would put us in the top 5, but I think there's a lot of good teams. This time of year, we haven't earned anything, so I want to earn it.